Hi you guys, it's Amanda with Healthy House on the block, and I'm here with another weekly video and tip on creating an indoor space that really supports your health and wellness. This week I'm really excited. I'm sharing with you something that I really have a passion for, and it is repurposing and refinishing furniture. So long ago, before I had my kids and had more time, I really enjoyed refinishing furniture. And what I didn't know then that I know now is that there are some really healthy ways that you can strip wood furniture that maybe has paint or stain or varnish on it, and some really healthy finishing options. So I'm going to share with you this week the whole process from start to finish, how to find healthier options when you're looking for secondhand furniture. We're going to talk about how to remove current finishes in a very low toxin way that is healthier for you and for the space that you're working in. And then finally, we're going to talk about some very low toxin options to refinishing furniture. So this week's video is based on my blog post. If you like to read through the post or you like to click on links that I have shared, then I would encourage you to head to this week's blog post. I have it linked in the video description below. Otherwise, let's get started and talk about how to refinish furniture in a really healthy way. So one of my favorite projects has been finding items on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist and giving them new life. 10 years ago, before my oldest daughter was born, I found a mid-century dresser and turned it into a 2-week-long adventure of sanding, painting, and staining to my heart's content. Of course, back then I had no idea there was a healthy way to do things like refinish furniture, and I completely missed the mark on natural paint remover options and non-toxic paint strippers. As my spare time has changed over the last 10 years with each season of my children, I've dabbled here and there with refinishing secondhand furniture and giving new purpose to items that were going to be tossed. If you start looking for ways to redo furniture, you'll find there can be a lot more changes you can make besides just repairing the wood or painting it. My Instagram account as of late has been focused on these gorgeous furniture makeovers that involve adding texture, hardware, and colors. And the great thing is you don't have to shy away from these projects at all. You can do it completely safe and 100% healthy for your home. The first step is finding a natural paint remover that will get you going on your project. So this week, we're going to focus on how to purchase secondhand furniture and home furnishings, how to set up your project the right way, natural paint removers and non-toxic stain removers, my favorite non-toxic paints, stains, and sealers, and then a showcase of some of my favorite projects that you could copy with your own healthy spin. So while you could go and just grab anything, there are a few things you want to be cautious of when it comes to buying secondhand furniture. There definitely is more to be said about using this tactic to prevent introducing toxins and chemicals into your home. One rule of thumb with used furniture is be cautious and don't feel obligated to buy. If you're purchasing from a seller, make sure you ask them these important questions. The first one is this piece of used furniture solid wood? Sometimes they'll know, sometimes they won't, but it's always good to ask. And the second one is, has it ever been in a smoking environment? I like phrasing it this way because sometimes they took it from someone else's house and will simply say, no, I don't smoke, if you just ask if it was in a smoking home. You can also ask other questions about the condition, but as for safety and health, these two questions that we talked about in the last slide will tell you a lot about the furniture. Solid wood furniture is always better and is always going to be the best option. Wood furniture made of medium density fiberboard, plywood, or particle board will sometimes contain harsh chemicals and VOCs, including formaldehyde. I would say this is more likely the case than not. We know that formaldehyde is a carcinogen and that it never stops off-gassing no matter how old the furniture or solvent is. The reason I love taking advantage of used furniture for a home that is health conscious is that you can actually find really high quality pieces that contain fewer chemicals and toxins than furniture pieces that you buy from a store brand new. New pieces of furniture contain VOCs in the paints and glues that hold them together, and the newer the product, the more it off-gasses. In addition, manufacturing new pieces of furniture just isn't the best for our Earth's environment, and the pieces have to be made and then shipped long distances. I talked a lot about this in a post I did about fast furniture, which I have linked in this week's blog post if it's something you're interested in. But finding solid wood can be tricky, however, it is well worth it. Make sure you take your time in looking for a piece of used furniture and then make sure that you clean it and update it the right way. So whether you're using a handed down piece of furniture, building your own, or finding a thrift store item, creating a piece of DIY furniture is another exceptional way to cut down waste, prevent chemicals from entering your home, and just be resourceful. Like I said, before I had kids, I loved a good DIY furniture project and I loved creating items for our home. I turned to some online instructions to build bookshelves and transform thrift store pieces into cherished elements in our home. And while I still love doing these things, I have learned that there are definitely right ways to DIY furniture and wrong ways. I want to share with you some of the best ways you can work on your own furniture at home and the best ways you can prevent introducing toxins from your home with your next DIY project. Working outside, painting, sanding, and staining should all be done outdoors or in a separated garage space if possible. This will help prevent introducing dust to your home, which will often contain chemicals from previous paint or stain on the furniture item. When you're sanding, it's especially important to wear a mask. The fine dust particles that you're sanding off will contain VOCs from previous layers of paint or stain. And that fine sanding dust can end up in cuticles and on your skin, which will absorb the toxins, sending them into your bloodstream. So it's a good idea to keep your hands covered with gloves, as well as keeping your arms covered if possible. If this just isn't possible or a good option, make sure that you wash up right away when you're done. When you're finishing your DIY project, make sure that you use safe and natural products. You don't want to be bringing furniture into your home that contains VOCs or other chemicals. After all the work you put into your project, make sure that you're using healthy finishing materials. And finally, look for natural wood elements to add to your furniture. So often when I see a project someone has done, they've added medium density fiberboard or other unnatural elements to the furniture in order to save money. Instead, try using only natural wood if you need to repair the piece or you're adding your own design elements. So one of the reasons you want to be exceptionally careful when removing paint is because of the potential for toxins in the paint already on your piece of furniture. Older paint could contain lead, and most paint contains a variety of VOCs and toxins within it. When you're removing paint with a sander or chipping it away, those toxins can become airborne, allowing you to inhale them into your lungs. There are some natural paint removers available. You just have to know what they are and where to get them, which is so exciting given that this was not all that well known just a few years ago. The first we're going to talk about is a soy-based natural paint remover. It can be used on any type of paint, varnish, or enamel, and it's low odor and 100% biodegradable. It can actually be used to remove lead paint as it encapsulates the lead while it removes it, and it's a fairly quick working product, which means less time of potential exposure. These are all linked on my blog this week, by the way, and so you can head to the blog post and click the links to find more about each of these products. The next one we're going to talk about is a peeling natural paint remover. This one's by Peel Away. It's a 0 VOC formula that is also biodegradable. It uses a mixture of lime and lye to remove paint on both indoor and outdoor items. It seems to work best on oil-based paint rather than water-based paints and varnishes. I have it linked through Amazon, but I also am sharing a link with through Ace Hardware. I found that it was a lot cheaper, so if you have an Ace Hardware nearby, that's where you can get that one. And then the last one is an alcohol-based natural paint remover. Another 0 VOC formula here, a natural paint remover with benzyl as the active ingredient. This solution, again, is 100% biodegradable and it's made for both indoor and outdoor use. There's a faint odor when used, so still be sure to wear a mask during removal. This is great for using most kinds of paint and varnishes when you're trying to remove it, with the exception of lead-based. So if you have potential lead, I wouldn't use this one. I'm also sharing my favorite healthy furniture project components on the blog, and these are some of the items that I'm sharing non-toxic versions of: stain, sealant, primer, paint, natural latex foam, upholstery fabric, wood glue. So you could do a complete project non-toxic and toxin-free if you wanted. Choosing to reuse a piece of furniture, whether it's your own or one you save, can not only be rewarding, but it can also be a great way to reuse what you have instead of purchasing new. Now that there are so many options to refinish furniture in a healthy manner, I honestly can't wait to dive back into this world again. All of the links that I mentioned are on the blog this week. You can click the link at the end of my video description. Well, that is all for me today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you're able to get just a little bit of information on refinishing furniture in a really healthy way. And I hope that you can apply it in your own space at home. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to send me a message, send me an email. Otherwise, I will be back here again next week with a healthy house tip on creating an indoor space that really supports your health and wellness.